you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for.
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked? Oh, Rita. It's Dave Thomas's Heart of Influence. It's Fun Friday. That work as we explore the superpower of integrous influence. And I have a doozy of a fun fact coming up. But Bella of Rita, before that, who's here?
Coming from Sean, and we got some extraordinary people, of course, for Dave Thomas's AI Heart of Influence. First, coming from Denver, Colorado, earned a scholarship to learn color schemes, wording, and the tech of websites, designing and managing them, offering social media supplementary options, opened her business a year ago, works with roughly 20 service-based companies from nonprofits to business management, also impacting the community, donating money to local charity children's hospitals in the name of her clients, looking to reach $1 million in donations. Let's welcome to the show, Karen Premis.
Karen, welcome to Dave Thomas's Heart of Influence. And a dear friend of Dave and Bella's by the name of Plato, you know, the Greek philosopher dude, said, play a game with me for an hour and we will learn more about each other than we speak for a year. So Karen, we kick this game off with a fun fact. And that fun fact could be a proud moment, embarrassing moment, adventurous moment, surprising moment, anything, Karen, that's a headline that makes us say, Karen, no way.
No way.
So Karen, please, what is your headline fun fact?
So my headline fun fact is that I used to tour New England area as a traveling puppeteer.
Get the heck out of here. And so what was your favorite puppet ever?
I really enjoyed a shadow puppet that I used to use. And so we did performances for children. But it was a really intricate little shadow puppet that got everybody to always be like, oh, wow.
That is a beautiful thing. Shadow puppets, Bella of Rita, Karen, they're in the house. It's Fun Friday. No way. Who's next?
It is Fun Friday from Bloomington, Illinois, business development for expert experienced HR professionals for small businesses that don't have the resources for an internal team. Everything from internal compliance, guidance, and consulting to recruiting, payroll, and retention. Previously, the Fortune 500 World State Farm for 7 years. She grew from receptionist to recruiting, learns and knows what is needed in HR and how to resolve it holistically. Let's welcome to the show, Terry Weisenhunt.
Harry, welcome to Dave Thomas's Heart of Influence, and please your fun fact.
Oh, thank you so much. It's such a delight to be here. Fun fact, which is pretty much more my nature, having been an actor, I love the fact that I am certified and trained with stage combat, and I can fight with a rapier in one hand and a dagger in the other.
Whoa.
That is amazing. So can you engage in some stage combat with Dave Thomas today? And let's see how that all plays out. Would that be acceptable to you?
Well, yes, as long as the phrase goes, never bring a knife to a gunfight. So as long as Dave fights fairly, yes, we can do it.
Yes. And definitely do not arm Bell of Rita. Thank you very much. Please.
Never fight fairly.
Next, coming from Los Angeles, California, founder and CEO of a firm specializing in offering flexible SFO services to thriving and small, medium-sized businesses. 20 plus years of finance expertise, having worked with both publicly traded and privately owned companies in the professional services and healthcare industries. Services include, but not limited to, strategic planning, financial forecasting, budgeting, and cash flow management. Let's welcome to the show, Rush Shah.
Thanks, Rush.
Hello, everyone. Hey, great meeting everyone here. Fun fact, oh, sorry, what were you going to say?
Oh, yeah, please, your fun fact.
Oh, yeah, well, I jumped out of a plane and survived. So I'll take it as it is.
With a parachute or no parachute?
With a parachute, of course, yeah.
That is perfect.
Yeah.
I was like, that would be a nice fun fact of all time if somebody jumped out of planes and no parachute. So welcome to the party, and you're ready to have. It may not be as exciting as jumping out of a plane, but you're ready to have a little bit of fun today on Dave Thomas's Heart of Influence.
Great, thank you.
Let's go, Bella.
Let's go. Coming from Denver, Colorado, 30 years IT veteran and CEO of an AI integration solutions company, transforming business ops and driving growth. Deeply involved in the evolution of large language models from GPT-1 in 2018 to ChatGPT-4 and all AI applications and impacts on our world. Try to say all that with dyslexia. Actively educates and consults with top AI groups involved in 3 AI startups. One I know that is launching on Monday and looking to help others thrive in the evolving digital world. Let's welcome to the show, Matt Moore.
Matt, welcome to Dave Thomas's Heart of Influence. Happy Fun Friday, and please, your fun fact.
Well, it's interesting that you chose your first example, because I did jump out of an airplane. I was scared to death, and it actually was a surprise to my wife. I actually proposed to her on the plane before we jumped out of the plane. She didn't know it was coming. She didn't even know she was jumping out of a plane. She had to wear a blindfold all the way there. And then I had a big, giant, huge surprise party with all of our 100 family members that were at our house when we came back from jumping out of a plane.
Oh, that's awesome.
Pretty exciting.
She wasn't, when the door opened to the plane, did she get a hint?
So it was, in my mind, I expected this really romantic thing where her parents would stand behind the curtain, and no, you're like a sardine. Everybody's sitting on each other's laps and smashed together. I had to yell to my wife, the reason I brought you here was because I didn't just want to jump out of a plane, I want to marry you. And she goes, what? I'm like, it was really funny. And then finally everybody on the plane looked back, they're like, oh, wow.
Matt, that is beautiful and amazing. Thanks for bringing some fun to Fun Friday. Bella Verita, Dave Thomas has assembled some fun folks. Heart-centered growth-mindedness, please.
Absolutely. And Sean, I have to jump in because the other fun fact is Matt's wife has the same name as our dog. That's another fun fact.
Emily, that's amazing. Yes. Well, tell your wife Emily we say hello, Matt.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, please.
Who just happened to have left my house maybe 10 minutes ago. So next from Cincinnati, Ohio, working with businesses with 20 plus full-time employees, consistently reducing workman's comp and wellness plans cost by as much as 75%, partnered with brokers and insurance providers directly to reduce the overall cost of the mandatory plans. Satisfaction soars often from single digits to nearly 90%, reducing the extraordinary expense of employee turnover at a minimal or even zero. Let's welcome to the show, Nate Allums.
Nate, welcome to the Heart of Influence. Thanks for being here on Fun Friday, and please, your fun fact.
Well, first, I'm going to use that Bella's introduction. We're going to take that video and put it on my LinkedIn profile.
Perfect.
Yeah. So my fun fact is I got lost in the Alps and I was rescued by a group of sixth graders.
I love it. Which part of the Alps?
I was skiing the Chamonix. I was skiing Chamonix, and at the time there weren't very good trail markers, and I'd been skiing basically one area all day, and I thought, well, it's the end of the day. Let me try this other part of the mountain based on the trail map. Lo and behold, I was out in the country.
Oof. Yeah. French
it's getting
Alps,
dark.
Swiss Alps, Austrian Alps, Italian Alps. You can make a wrong turn and be 200 miles from where you started. So
yeah,
that is a super cool fun fact. Bella, we might know something about that. Please.
We definitely might know something about that. Next, from Littleton, Colorado, serial entrepreneur, a former Bell Lab engineer, has 3 software patents in the field where he had no previous work experience or education, currently bringing his technical expertise to have your business thrive in the AI-powered future that we all are speeding into. Let's welcome to the show, Mr. Dave Thomas.
Mr. Dave Thomas, welcome to your Heart of Influence. This is one brilliant dude. When I relate to Dave Thomas, his mind moves at 10,000 miles per hour, and his heart is gigantic, his integrity enormous. So Dave, on this Fun Friday, please, what's your fun fact?
Well, after hearing Nate's, I had to change it. And I'm reminded of a time my wife and I were driving up a pretty rocky, rugged road on our motorcycles. My wife's my buddy, motorcycle buddy, and which is a fun fact in itself. But I was debating, should we go up this road, until this family passed me with a couple of very small children. And I went, okay, I just got passed by a toddler on a motorcycle. I'm going up this stupid thing.
Oh my God, Dave, that is super cool and awesome. Reminding me of like being on a ski mountain and someone being afraid of a black diamond and like a 4-year-old going like right past. So love it. Dave, and shall we do the thing, sir?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. This woman who's been introducing everyone so masterfully began her career in influence as an 8-year-old selling crafts on her parents' front lawn. She progressed to being a 7-figure business generator in the space of network marketing by the age of 19. Are you kidding me? Then at 24, 25, 26, she was three-peating like Michael Jordan, except not, because it was in business brokerage instead of basketball, where she was the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada 3 straight years. First woman ever to be Nevada's #1 business broker, youngest person, male or female, ever to do it, let alone 3 straight years. She then began to train entrepreneurs and Fortune 500 companies. In fact, in 2019, every sales team doubled their sales. Skier, surfer, scuba diver, adventurer in the most extreme of conditions, maybe even jumped out of a plane or two, maybe with a blind guy. Then she becomes a 2-time, about to be 3-time, I think it is now 3-time published author and a philanthropist, raising 8 figures, 10 million plus, with the Unblinded team over the past 2.5 years. And finally, this heart-centered, courageous, inspirational woman publicly battled and defeated cancer in 2023. Let's welcome to the Heart of Influence, the woman that put the heart in it, to Dave Thomas's Heart of Influence, Bella Verita. Bella Vrita, the most exhausting part of my day every day is introducing you and your amazingness. So please, Bella, what is your fun fact?
It is a rough one, I am sure. And I'm tied between two fun facts. One, I don't know how much is that fun. But the first one is tomorrow morning I'm getting on a plane at 6:30 a.m. to fly to New Jersey to get on a private plane to go to DC. Then the next morning waking up at 6:30, getting on a plane to California to spend less than 48 hours in California to turn around and take a red eye back to New Jersey because I hang out with this wild guy named Sean Callaghy. And I am suspecting that I might have kidney stones because I've had this pain in my back that has not gone away. I've tried everything. And now I'm like, oh, I wonder if that might be it. So that is my next adventure. I get to find out after this show.
Oh my God, Bella, I'm so sorry. Ugh. And then, I mean, we're also skipping the fact that after the red eye back to New Jersey from California, then the day after you fly to Greece. We left that one out.
Yes, the day after I fly to Greece. Yes, that is
That was
part
a
of that
small
equation too.
omission of
Yes.
things. So what I'm hearing you say is it's tomorrow morning, Denver to New Jersey. Then we're together, New Jersey to DC on a plane. Then we're DC the next morning to California. Then the night after we land, it's California red eye back to New Jersey. Then the next day, flying to Greece. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
That is what you're hearing. Yes.
That's crazy.
It is an adventurous life.
It is an adventurous life. So with that adventure locked in, shall we do the things?
We shall do the things, but let me introduce my co-host, the man that Tony Robbins said, there's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callaghy. He beats world champions like Becky at body surfing competitions. He is only one of two attorneys to win two top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 2016, the only one that's blind out of 1.2 million attorneys. In fact, he is so exponential that the state of New Jersey actually named him one of New Jersey's most influential attorneys. He has spoken on stages such as Disney, T-Mobile, Salesforce, Tony Robbins, MasterCard. And when he's not busy flying around speaking on stages, he's an incredible philanthropist that has raised nearly $10 million for refugees in the Ukraine. Let's welcome my co-host, Mr. Sean Callaghy.
Thank you. Thank you, Bella. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. So many fun facts that I want to drop in light of our fun little shares, but I'm going to go with this. Well, I often go with the fact that I'm a blind man that's taught sighted people to ski, surf, and scuba dive in most extreme conditions, and that when I was riding my surfboard 10 months ago, a shark bit it while I was on it. That happened. But I think I'm going to go with this for right now, Bella, I'm going to pivot from what I was going to go with, that Bella and I were lost in the Austrian Alps last winter. And I was on a group coaching call, coaching actively as we were skiing through the Austrian Alps. I am blind on audio assist with Bella on this group coaching call that I think Dave Thomas was on as we were searching for how to get home because we had to go to Germany so I could be on a webinar that night with Joseph McClendon from Tony Robbins stage. That is my fun fact for today, Bella Vrita.
That is a super fun fact and a very true fun fact.
Yeah, very true. We ate hamburgers on the way to Germany in the vehicle. Yes. So Bella, please, who's going next?
Let's kick this off with Karen.
Okay, Karen. So a little fun, made some introductions, shared some fun facts, got to know each other a smidge, right? Plato style. But now, Karen, we're going to explore the superpower of influence. We say superpower because everything happens after we cause yes. And there's such a massive disparity of people's ability to cause yes and knowing which yeses to cause. So Bella is going to role play anybody you want her to be. She could be an ideal client, Karen. She could be a charitable fundraising partner, somebody famous like Oprah Winfrey or Warren Buffett, anybody you want her to be. But it's not Wolf of Wall Street meets Boiler Room. We're not talking pitching, hooking, closing. What does it look like, though, when heart-centered, integrous people like Dave Thomas and yourselves get together and a yes should actually happen? So, Karen, it's a 3-minute conversation. Doesn't have to be an ultimate yes. Doesn't have to be a sale. Could just be a yes for a longer conversation. So please, Karen, who would you like Bella to be that you're going from hello to yes with?
Um, it could be a business owner that owns a business coaching website or business coaching business. Sorry.
Sure. Perfect. Take us in.
All right. Hello, this is Bella.
Hi, Bella. This is Karen. I am the owner of Miracle Makers Web Design. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. I was calling to see if you had any needs for a website. I see that you were a business coach, and I know that that can be a challenge to get your name out there.
Yeah, it can definitely, it can be a challenge for sure. And, I've thought about doing a website, but do you really need websites nowadays? Do people like even go to websites anymore? I feel like they just look at your
Websites.
social media.
Yeah, no, websites are really important. Websites actually help increase your standing on Google. So even if you're not having anyone visit the website, which they will anyway, but let's say nobody visits your website, having a website still gives you that presence to tie to all your social media accounts and everything, so that you can actually be found in any aspect.
Oh. And so how much like does the website cost and how much, what do you even have to do?
So the average website for me is a little bit lower, but we do donate part of our profits to Children's Hospital Colorado. And so our general website cost for a basic website is around $4,000. But that includes all the creation of content and just setting up the presence online from the get-go so that you start out with a strong foot. And then we offer website management as well so that we can get continued support for your SEO.
That sounds interesting. I do understand the value of the website. And how long does it typically take to get it going?
Most websites only take a day or two. So we go over the contract, what the business needs are, and then we go from there. Different websites can take different lengths, but the average length is about 2 to 3 weeks. And then you'll have a fully operational website.
Okay. Well, maybe, I got to run right now, but, I'd like to, kind of compare you to some other people and see, what might be the best option for us.
Perfect. Yeah, that would be great. I'll email you my information and we'll get you going.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you, Karen.
Karen, thank you so much. Outstanding work. We'll get to the feedbackers in a moment. And Bella, who's following up Karen?
Following Karen is Terry.
Terry, who would you like Bella to be that you're going from hello to yes with?
Oh, just unmute for us, Terry.
There we go. Well, why don't we say you are a superhero in the Justice League? And and you know what? Everybody needs HR. So whenever you're ready, I'm ready.
All right.
Oh, Rita could be Wonder Woman, anybody like, maybe Batgirl, who even knows? Take us in.
All right.
Hello, this is Wonder Woman.
Well, hello, Miss Wonder Woman. How are you today?
I'm saving the world from the injustice.
Oh my gosh. I know that must take up so much of your time, but if you have 2 minutes and 50 seconds, could I please tell you something about something I think that would actually help the Justice League?
Yes, please.
Great. All right. So what I do is we actually partner with small businesses. And in your case, there's probably about 9 people on the Justice League, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know that with everything gets so busy, but every business actually needs human resources. So I'm sure you have everyone on the payroll and maybe some onboarding, but if you have just a couple of minutes, could I just ask you a couple of questions?
Yes.
Okay. Well, when you actually have to bring in a new superhero, how do you find your onboarding process? Is it easy or do you find it a little bit chaotic?
It is definitely a little bit chaotic. However, I know some people that are creating an AI technology that's supposed to help with that.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Well, then with that, so as you're growing, are you finding though, what is your focus? What is it that you like to do best? And are you finding that some of the things like employee issues, trying to stay compliant with all of the other universe changing laws that happen, are you actually finding that that's taking you away from saving the world?
It is definitely extremely time consuming because I just want to spend time with the people.
Exactly, exactly. You care for people and we care for small businesses. So we care for someone that you are compassionate, you are someone that is out there doing what we can't do. So I'm just asking if there's an opportunity that maybe we can discuss further so that we could actually help what you can't do so that you can do something that we can't do. And that's how we work together to save the universe.
Terry, I love it. I am in. I am enrolled. Whatever our next steps are, I'm in.
All right.
Let's save the world.
Let's save the world together. So
Yes.
what I'll do is if I will forward you some information and then I will reach back out to you and to see whenever the best time would be, hoping that there's no calamity or anything like that happens in between.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Terry.
Thank you so much for your time.
Beautiful work, Terry. Bella Verita, I think that brings us to our feedbackers.
It does bring us to our feedbackers, otherwise known as judges. Judges, this is a time in the show that we get to give back in the form of feedback. So it's going to be 30 seconds of feedback for either Karen or Terry, something that they did great, something that they could do to improve, and then like a little next step. Is that next step you'd rather go to the dentist and have a root canal than have a longer conversation with Terry or Karen? I don't think that's necessary. So maybe the next step is a little mocha chocolate and a little croissante at Starbucks. Maybe the I Can Work Spa for those of you that are located in Denver. But if that's not enough time, you would be willing to rent a private room at the Capitol Grill, getting like the seafood tower and the nice juicy steak. Unless you're a vegan, of course, maybe you're having like salad and French fries, but you're not going to skip out on dessert because you definitely want to have the longest meeting possible. And if that's still not enough time, you would be willing to rent a private jet. Of course, I've been big up Dave Thomas because he didn't invite you here and fly anywhere in the world to have the longest meeting possible with Karen or Terry. Let's kick this off with Nate. And Nate, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Karen?
Okay. Karen, I thought you did a good job of introducing the need for a website and positioning yourself as an expert, and even positioning your price point as lower. And then the bonus is I get to be as your customer. I get to be a contributor to Children's of Denver, was it?
Yeah, Children's Hospital of Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado. So yeah, so that's what I would say is uh, was your strength. Um, I don't know. Yeah, there was a little bit of lingo. So if I don't know what a website, if I don't know why I need a website, technical lingo is definitely not something that I would even know about. Maybe would even put me off in terms of am I even capable of understanding what she's saying? Can I make a good decision? So
Awesome job, Nate.
Thank you.
That. Bill, I'm hearing like a little caffeine, maybe a follow-up cup of coffee for Nate. And where are we going?
We got Rush and your 30 seconds of feedback for Terry.
Terry, I thought you did a really great job too. I think you explained yourself as someone who knows your field pretty well, and kind of also asked Bella about the pain, some of the pain points that she had in her business. My only feedback, I felt like you were directing a lot of questions to her. In other words, do you have this issue? Do you have this issue? Kind of feel so that it becomes like yes or no. She's forced to get that, versus letting her identify the pain points first, so that you can she can give them to you and then you can add on to that. If that makes sense. That's my old suggestion. Yeah. But great job.
Rush, thank you for that. And what would the next follow-up step be? A little cup of coffee, maybe a private room dinner, steak, seafood tower, or maybe a private jet even? What will come next?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Oh yeah, well, we'll come next. A follow-up call, right? I heard you right.
All right, got a little follow-up call. Maybe not any caffeine quite yet, Bella, but please.
Next, we got Matt. Matt, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Karen? Oh, Matt, are you muted?
Oh, sorry. I kept clicking. It wasn't doing. Okay, sorry. I think my internet's still a little bit funny because I see a little bit of like funny things going on my screen. So that's why I keep looking back, going, "Oh God, no." So Karen, I actually have a little bit of experience in the web design area because that's over the last 30 years. I've had to do a lot of pitches too, and I would say, the information was clear. I think that the idea of you contributing to children's is huge. I think that's a great idea. It's something that we've never approached. So I think that's brilliant. And I do think that it felt like there was maybe a smidge of lack of confidence when it came to timeframes. It felt like there was a pause and you weren't really sure how to approach that. And I get that because websites can be a week long if they're 3 pages. They could be 6 months long if they're 150 pages. So it's one of those questions when somebody says, how much will it cost me? It's like, that's a tough one to nail down. So I would say feedback for that would be to be a little bit more confident in saying that that depends on what you're looking for. And how many pages do you think that you might want to have? And they'll always, as you know, they'll always tell you they don't know how many pages. They have no idea. That's where they're asking you. But that's where it kind of leads you into being the expert. And then you come back with saying, well, I think you need this. And that's usually been an approach that's worked really well for us too.
Thank you
Perfect.
for
I
that,
appreciate
Matt.
it.
Yeah, beautiful feedback from Matt Belvrita. And who's next?
Next, we got Mr. Dave Thomas. And how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Terry?
Well, Terry, I love the way that you did this. I love that you brought a lot of energy. I love that you asked a lot of questions, because I find for myself that's a real key to understanding, like, what is the person's pain point, and then you can just, once you know what their pain point is, you can just really dial in whatever it is that you're going to share about your services so that it fits what they're looking for. And so I thought you did that well. You brought a lot of fun energy. So great job.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that, Dave Thomas. And what would the next step be, Dave? A little cup of coffee, dinner, private jet. What's coming next, Dave? Maybe cruising on some motorcycles with some 6-year-olds.
Yeah, I think Terry and I need to go on a motorcycle ride together, something like that.
Let's go. We're going to rip it open on the hogs, Belvrita.
Ripping it open on the hogs. That's hysterical.
Yes. Thank you, Dave. Dave, it's not in my contract. It's not in my contract. Everyone, not in my contract. But Bella, I'll do it for Dave. Don't give me a hard time though. Over to you.
Dave and everyone, this is the time in the show that we get to play Sean a little bit because Karen, Terry, maybe you guys knew what you were doing, maybe you didn't. And this is the time in the show that we get to put Sean on the hot seat in a scenario that he has no idea about because I've been cooking them up as the show has been going on. Dave, I have 3 scenarios for you to choose from. You can choose one of my scenarios for Sean to be in the hot seat, or you can scratch them and come up with something on your own or anything in between. Are you ready to hear what I have for today?
Yes, indeed.
All right. So option number 1 is I thought Sean could role play Karen going from hello to yes with Miss Unicorn of the unicorn chasing coaching business. So she's got a coaching business on how to teach people how to chase unicorns. And she needs a website, but she's already, got somebody else. And so Sean would play Karen, convincing her to go with Karen instead of the folks that they have already for their unicorn chasing website. So that is option number 1. Option number 2 is Matt is launching a new technology on Monday, and that helps HR and hiring people and all of the things and making things easier. So I thought option number 2 is Sean could role play Matt going from hello to yes with Arrow Electronics, which is the largest company here in Denver, Colorado. So that would be option number 2. And then option number 3, we could do a little reverse role play with Terry, and Sean would role play Terry going from hello to yes with Captain America. So those are my three options that I have for you today. Dave, any of those tickle your fancy, or do you have something much, much harder you would like to see Sean do?
Well, goodness, what would be harder than all of those amazing things? Let me see. Uh, what if Sean could, what if we could do, and here's the place where I'm about to be totally embarrassed because I don't know what I was going to say next.
Oh, that is fun and transparent.
I usually come up with something really off the charts, and I'm just completely drawing a blank today. So I say let's do the unicorn one.
All right. So so Dave, who should play Mr. or Mrs. Unicorn?
Oh, I think that Terry will do a good job of being the unicorn.
Terry, are you up for being Miss Unicorn? Okay, just unmute for us. And Sean, you're going to role play Karen. So
Okay.
Terry has a coaching business where she coaches people on how to chase unicorns. Now, she's already got someone she has said yes to have her website done, but you're going to play Karen going from hello to yes to use you instead for the unicorn chasing coaching company. Are you ready?
I think so. So I'm
But
going to
first, Sean,
yes,
do you believe in unicorns?
I do believe in unicorns.
Okay, then you can take on this role.
You are a unicorn. So wait, so I'm playing Karen, correct?
Yep, correct.
Okay, and now I'm going to be speaking with Terry, right?
Correct.
Okay, great. So
But Terry's known as Miss Unicorn.
yes, perfect. So thank you. Awesome.
It is Fun Friday.
It is Fun Friday. So hello, is Miss Unicorn available?
Yes, this is Miss Unicorn.
Hey, Miss Unicorn, this is Karen. We had a 3-minute conversation scheduled for today. Is it still a good time for you?
It's perfect.
Wow. So thank you so much. I mean, just you couldn't have a cooler name. You couldn't be up to cooler things. So I really appreciate the opportunity and possibility. But if I can ask this, what prompted you to say yes to this conversation? I know you've been talking about website. I know you've made some progress with others. And I'm just curious of what prompted you to even accept this call. I'm very grateful for it, but why this call?
I always like to keep my options open. And I'm very open to see what other people may have that I may not have considered.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that very much. And so can I ask this, like with this entire unicorn concept, I've reviewed videos online, I chat GPT'd you, I Googled you, I did all the beautiful things. I love what you're up to. If I could share it from you, what's the ultimate why underneath chasing unicorns?
Well, for the one, it's part of my ancestry. It's given by the name. And unicorns are very pure animals, and they're very delicate and they're very magical. And to actually find one means fortune. It means more than that, actually. It means the pure in heart. And so to be able to attract that unicorn means probably a fulfillment of something that it would be able to be helping people later on so that
Awesome.
I can teach them how to find a unicorn.
Oh, thank you. And I know I can feel your heart, feel your presence to possibility and magic. So thank you for being that extraordinary example of possibility. And if I could ask this, what's prompting you to desire to move forward with this other company? What are you seeing? What are you looking for in somebody to serve your mission online? You know, what's there?
Well, for one, I appreciated that they reached out to me and the fact that they're actually a friend of a relative. So I wanted to give them that opportunity as well as they're starting their business. But some of the other things is that they're willing to work and to tailor to the needs that I have. I may want something for right now, but then because of some other things going on, I may not necessarily need service in a little bit. So I don't, with them, one of the main points is that I won't have this lengthy kind of contract.
Yeah, of course. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate it a ton. So I'm hearing, yeah, a connection and family. I'm hearing a profound mission related to unicorns that is really vital for your heart. And I'm also hearing, you don't want to get trapped into something. Am I hearing all those things correctly?
Yes, yeah, I would say that's true.
Yeah. So, Miss Unicorn, can I share a couple quick things in our final minute or so that may or may not resonate?
Sure.
Okay. So, um, the web, the internet, the myriad of complexity in trying to figure out who to work with, how many web pages, which web pages, how to make sure that they're Google searchable. Where does ChatGPT and AI in the future fit into this myriad of complexity? How all of this fits and works together. What if, Miss Unicorn, the difference in people's abilities are as different as a grain of sand is from Godzilla? And that's just the truth. So, a couple quick things that come up for me, and I really honor your loyalty, your caring, but this business really seems to matter to you and its differentiation. So, as you think about it, of course, you want to give work to people that you love and care about, but what if this element should really be selected with somebody, of course, you can trust, but that's going to bring the highest level of mastery? With the disparity of possibility, all I would simply ask Miss Unicorn is for a 30-minute follow-up conversation, because we're going to demonstrate to you how you choose how many web pages you have, how it intersects with all of your other marketing efforts, how we make sure that you're not only SEO optimized, but you're causing conversions and tracking and moving things forward in a beautiful way. And you can make decisions about paid ads, not paid ads, all of these things, that there is this giant disparity in who you talk to. And so my simple proposal would be that we have that 30-minute conversation and you have another conversation with even another web developer, and then compare and contrast what you hear. Now, I think what you're going to find is at the end of our 30-minute conversation, while these other 5 folks may be wonderful, that there's a completely different level of mastery we're going to bring forward to you informationally, and with the credibility and social proof and the testimonials that will demonstrate to you why we would be the appropriate choice. But all I'm simply asking is not for you to believe me, but have a 30-minute conversation where we can create some of these differentiations with more specificity and precision and see how we resonate or not with one another. So, Miss Unicorn, how would it feel for you to have a 30-minute follow-up conversation or not? Please.
Oh, absolutely. I'm very open, and I am intrigued to see when you describe it as being that you are an expert and master at what you do. Of course, I'd be very open and interested into seeing. So if there's obviously no obligation, I'm very happy to do that.
Yeah, and there will be no obligation, just that conversation. And Miss Unicorn, shall I set that up with one of your unicorn brothers or sisters over there?
Yes, actually, yes, you can do that. That would be great.
Perfect. Thank you, Miss Unicorn. And I look forward to seeing you soon. And hopefully you have a rainbow-filled day. Thank you.
Absolutely. You too. Thank you so much for calling.
Terry, Miss Unicorn, out of role. How did I do as Karen having a conversation with Miss Unicorn about websites? You are a wonderful Miss Unicorn. Over to you.
Oh, you're asking me how I thought you did?
Yes.
I really appreciated the soft tone, soft spoken approach, that it was filled with humility and appreciation of my time. And the other thing is also respect for the information I was already sharing with you, saying out of some loyalty to a friend of a friend, so to speak, that's the direction I was kind of going, but me being an open-minded person. So I heard you listening to the direction of things that I was saying, and then adding to that as appreciative and respectful. And then, of course, when you create an environment that is inviting with no obligation, then hopefully, yes. I mean, of course, I would say yes to just another conversation.
Well, thank you for that. Beautiful. And how was your time today, Terry, on Dave Thomas's Heart of Influence?
More than I expected. I didn't know what to expect when I walked in. So I've learned, I've met some new friends. I really appreciate, truly, really appreciate the richness of everything that I've experienced here.
Thank you. Appreciate you very, very much. And you added richness to it. P.S. More than 8,000 people have been on the show since it began. And we're more than 1,250 episodes in. So congratulations and thanks for joining the ecosystem of people who've been on the Heart of Influence. So thank you. Karen, beautiful job in the participant seat. Appreciate you permitting me to be you. How'd I do as you? And how was your time today on Dave Thomas's Heart of Influence? Please, Karen.
I think you did well. The only critique that kind of carried through, which kind of made me laugh, was the terminology used. So like SEO, to everyone's point that talked to me, not everyone knows what SEO even is. So that would have just been the one thing, I guess. Other than that, I thought you did great.
Oh, thank you.
And I enjoyed being on the show today. It's been a lot of fun. And everybody's been really great. So
Well, thank you. Did a wonderful job, Karen. Awesome stuff. Let's go, Matt. Thanks for being on Dave Thomas's Heart of Influence. Appreciate you being in that feedbacker seat on a Friday. Wonderful work. And how was your time today, Matt, on Dave's Heart of Influence?
I'm just unmute for us.
I usually don't in all of our meetings. I never mute myself for that reason. I enjoyed it. I obviously I want to connect with some of the people in this room that I think might have some and that I'm intrigued with. Dave is one of them. I like to speak to people who are very technical and especially somebody who actually has had some patents. I just like intellectual conversation a lot. So this is great to meet with everybody. And Rush, I'd like to learn more about you. Nate too. I didn't get to hear a whole lot from you guys. So I'd like to maybe connect and talk to you guys about what you guys do too. Cool. But this has been a great show. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. Belvarita.
Speaking of our other two, let's go, Nate. Nate, how was your time with us on Dave Thomas's Heart of Influence?
Well, I think this is a creative format. I loved it. The interaction, you got a little bit of personality in the beginning, and then you do a great job of introducing everyone. I'm sorry I didn't get you material directly for me to do that, but I just like the whole the format, the interaction, the role playing, and it's always great to be put on the spot in a well, I guess I should ask Terry and Karen that, but it's for me, it's always good to be put on the spot in a welcoming, helpful, uplifting group of people.
Wait, Nate, you're saying that Belvarita has a little bit of personality? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Just a touch. It doesn't come through real strong at first, but once you dig, you get a little bit of it.
You got to really break her out of her shell. Yeah,
really
I know.
do.
Yeah.
Bella. Let's go. Last but not least, Rush. Rush, how was your experience? Now you can say you've jumped out of airplanes and survived, and you've been on the Heart of Influence and you survived.
Yes, great experience. I mean, this was great meeting with other like-minded individuals. Sean, I think you did a great job. What I enjoyed was that you showed empathy and curiosity during the call. I love the what prompted you to call, the why, the I'm hearing. Really great conversations to have. And at the end of the day, the follow-up was really good too. Class. Yeah. So appreciate it. I look forward to meeting everybody. Great group.
Thank you. Awesome job. Appreciate that, Rush. Thank you. Belvarita, that brings us to the man of the hour. Please, Dave Thomas, first of all, thank you. And your final on your Heart of Influence today, Dave.
Well, I'm just grateful to each of you for joining me in this adventure. I'm really gratified that you've all enjoyed it. And I'm especially grateful to Sean and Bella and the team for supporting me in this. And this is an extraordinary thing here, and I'm looking forward to connecting with many of you after this show. And yeah, let's make the most of this. And I just would encourage each of you to You know, like if there's someone here that, well, first off, I'll send out a group email after the show. So everybody will have everybody's at least email addresses, and whoever you'd like to contact, there will be a way that you can do that. And I just love it. It's just like a little community that we all formed here in a little under an hour. Very fun.
Dave, awesome job, brother. Appreciate you. And thanks to Dave, and thank you for being here. We have 3 parting gifts for each and every one of you. These are not ChatGPT throwaways. These are also not sugar cookies, champagne, or caviar, but instead things that are profoundly valuable. P.S. Dave Thomas creates profoundly valuable things with AI, but a lot of folks create like nonsense and garbage and valueless things that they give. So 3 things. First, we have the ability to come back next Wednesday as we train on group influence. What does it look like for you to open the listening of humans and not have them make split-second decisions about you that are untrue, that are limiting? Because the last thing we ever want to do is to be common. We have to be congruently unique so people are curious. But what if we could even have them be inspired or maybe even creeping towards a little bit of awe? So that's next Wednesday morning's training. You're all invited. Nothing is sold there. Second, we have our ebook on group influence, Public Speaking Leadership Management, a textbook. I couldn't find it, so we wrote it. Blows people's hearts and minds, diagnostic, step-by-step, holistic, practical, useful, powerful, and mind-blowing. That's yours as well. And third, a business acceleration session for those that are growth-minded, heart-centered, and truly looking for exponential acceleration. The business acceleration session is there for you. And again, fun footnote, nothing sold to you there either. We have plenty of things to do together for life, but we believe in value, value, value all the way through. And I'm quite confident that Dave has created value here today with all of you, some beautiful takeaways, new potential relationships. And if those gifts are interesting to you, the link is in the chat. And I would finally say this, they're irreplaceably valuable. Just can't find what's in those anywhere else, but that's up to you to decide if you want to discover it or not. Belle Rita, your final on this fun Friday.
My final on this fun Friday is, first of all, Dave, thank you for choosing the unicorn scenario to have a little fun on this fun Friday. I'm sure Sean would not advise anyone to start a unicorn chasing coaching business, but you never know. But thanks for having some fun on Fun Friday. And everyone, you know, this is like having a cup of coffee. So definitely connect with each other because this is the first initial meeting. It's way funner than meeting at Starbucks. Definitely connect with each other and join us back on Wednesday. You get to meet even more people, get to learn more about the Unblinded platform, what Sean did in the magic moment. And so check that out and look forward to seeing each one of you again. And Sean, back to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Bella. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. On behalf of Bella and Dave, we end every show by saying this. I may be physically blind, which I am, can't see anything in front of me, but I'm absolutely certain as to the possibilities for acceleration that sit right in front of all of us to accelerate our financial abundance, our time freedom, and scaling our businesses, the impact of our businesses. Those things so often sit right here. But at some level, sighted or not, as to those possibilities, Bella, we are all blind.
And just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you. Great job, Dave. Happy Fun Friday all. Wonderful to meet you. Thank you.